Hi. So as she just said, I'm Sean Chikowitz. I'm a sophomore at Pascack Hills High School. Before I start, I just want to say that I hope this speech speaks for all the teens struggling with getting their opinions out there and provides a clear understanding to adults of how we feel. So first, I would like to begin by thanking Moms Demand Action for giving me the opportunity to speak here today. On February 14th, 2018, terror struck in Parkland, Florida. With 17 innocent lives lost, this tragedy truly shook the nation. I wish I could say this is an isolated incident, that this has never happened before and will never happen again. But as everyone here knows, that's not true. Unless we take action immediately, we will fall victim to another mass shooting in the future. In 2018 alone, we have had about 30 mass shootings. About 18 of those were school shootings, creating an average of about 3 per week. Over my lifetime, which is only 15 years, I've been alive for approximately 200 school shootings to occur. Sorry. Yet none of them resonated with me as much as the Parkland shooting. Here was a town just like mine, with people I knew and thousands of others about my age, enduring something no individual would ever be mentally ready to endure. Suddenly, the idea of being unsafe at school became significantly more real to me. It suddenly hit me that I can never truly be safe. The following day, every student appeared to have a changed outlook on school. The atmosphere was extremely melancholy. I could tell just by looking at people how scared they now felt to be growing up in the 21st century. And yet my school didn't do anything but make an announcement with their thoughts and prayers. Out of 7 different classes I had that day, only one teacher brought up the recent tragedy. My gratitude goes out to that teacher. I sat during lunch and watched the president of our nation speak about the incident, hoping that maybe this time he'll listen to his people. But all he offered were his thoughts and prayers. As I watched the news for 3 hours on the 14th and for another 2 on the 15th, the only answer adults seemed to have were their thoughts and prayers. As I heard traumatizing accounts of the incident from students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas, watched heart-wrenching interviews with parents, called my camp friends who were in distress to make sure they were okay, and saw the posts flooding into my feed from people I knew personally in memory of their friends and loved ones, I realized thoughts and prayers do nothing. We need action. It was then that I realized that if the adult leaders of our nation are going to act like children, then it's up to children to act like adult leaders. A few friends and I created an event in our school where teens could either sign pre-written letters or write their own letters to our state senators and representatives. Those people are on our side, and they need all the documentation they can get from students.
I think it's these two we're touching.
Got it.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Okay. Those people are on our side, and they need all the documentation they can get from students in order to convince others to join our cause as well. We got over 100 letters from students. In addition, I created a petition on change.org for gun control and common sense gun laws for teens to sign. We currently have over 4,120 signatures. Students want to see change, but just don't always know where to begin. Our goal was to create an easy outlet for students to contact politicians and voice their opinions. Sure, this is just one petition, but with thousands of other teens advocating for the same things, a difference can be made. Currently, Emma Gonzalez, a senior from Marjory Stoneman Douglas, who co-founded gun control advocacy group Never Again MSD, is speaking at rallies nationwide and has more followers on all social media outlets than the NRA. It is clear where our allegiance is as the millennials and Generation Z of this nation. One shoe bomber tried to blow up a plane, so Congress makes us take off our shoes in security. Yet there have been about 1,606 mass shootings since the incident at Sandy Hook Elementary School, and Congress has done nothing. We are fed up with Congress's inability to care if our blood is on the ground as a result of their need to take blood money from the NRA. Power should not be more important than a human life. Over a dozen different families of victims to the Parkland shooting have reported that they are receiving regular death threats from people looking to keep their assault weapons. In addition, I'm sure many of you have seen the viral Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram posts where people accuse the affected teens from Parkland of being child actors paid off by left-wing Democrats as well as making fun of them for being so traumatized. If a child dies and someone's first reaction is, "No, don't take away my guns," then we no longer have a difference in political opinions. We have a difference in morality. These full-grown adult bullies really should not be surprised that teenagers are taking an initiative. For years, brilliant authors have fed us books like Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, Percy Jackson, Divergent, and more, in which teens rebel against a government that is doing nothing about the violence plaguing their lives. Teens are becoming the revolutionaries we've been so inspired by while growing up. In America, an 18-year-old is considered too immature to buy a beer, but responsible enough to purchase 10 AR-15 assault rifles and 20 50-round magazines. Additionally, bringing guns into our schools by giving them to teachers is not the answer. Bringing more guns into this situation will only exacerbate it. Already, more than a dozen companies had severed ties with the NRA, including many mainstream corporations such as Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Hertz, MetLife, and many more. We are on the right track. We are making a difference. And most importantly, we can't stop now. This must be ongoing, and we must be relentless in the pursuit of our safety. On February 20th, the Florida House rejected considering a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, but on that same day declared pornography a health risk. Personally, I think that people would be at much more of a health risk by getting shot with 50 bullets shooting out of an AR-15 than by watching pornography. In 1776, the famous Marquis de Lafayette, James Monroe, Aaron Burr, and Alexander Hamilton were all between the ages of 18 and 21, just a bunch of teens. We are the revolution. Teens have come to the conclusion that our government will not advocate for us unless they have no other option. So let's give them no other option. We cannot let this tragedy be forgotten. We cannot let politicians convince us that we don't have a say in our lives and future. We cannot settle for thoughts and prayers. We must fight for the common sense gun laws we so desperately need. We must fight for stricter background checks, the banning of selling an unnecessary amount of magazines to citizens, the raising of age limits to be able to purchase a weapon, and so much more. But most importantly, we must fight for our lives. Teens cannot let disaster increase their vulnerability any longer. We must turn any feeling of helplessness into hope. High schoolers have now realized that the universe helps those who help themselves. We must be the ones to continue this movement until change happens. We must never let it slip by the wayside as long as our safety is in jeopardy. Thank you.